power of perseverance. Emma's journey to her dream. Emma had always been a dreamer. As a young girl, she would sit in the corner of her room, imagining new worlds and writing stories about distant lands, magical forests, and brave heroes who overcame impossible challenges. Her notebooks were filled with tales of adventure and triumph. She believed in the power of imagination, and her heart was full of hope. Her dream was clear. She wanted to become a writer. But as Emma grew older, life began to take over. The fun and carefree days of childhood faded away. She had to face the responsibilities of school, family, and growing up. The pressures of becoming an adult started to build up. Slowly, her dream of writing seemed less important. She focused on what was expected of her and less on what she truly wanted to do. When Emma finished high school, she felt lost. The world outside seemed big and scary, and the idea of becoming a writer seemed impossible. She thought she needed something more practical to survive. So, she decided to follow a safer path. She enrolled in business school, believing that having a stable job would bring her the security and comfort she needed. She graduated, and soon after, she found a job at a big corporate office. Emma quickly adapted to her new life. She worked hard climbing the ladder in the corporate world. Her days were filled with meetings, deadlines, and numbers. She became good at her job and gained recognition for her skills. But at the end of each busy day, when she sat alone in her apartment, she felt empty. She missed her imagination, the creativity and the joy of writing. She realized that, although she was good at her job, it didn't make her feel alive. It wasn't what made her heart race with excitement. She longed to write again, to bring her characters and stories to life. But doubt soon crept in. Who could become a writer in a world where everyone was focused on making money, she wondered. One day, during her lunch break, Emma was scrolling through social media when she saw a post from Sarah, an old friend from college. Sarah had always been someone who took risks. While Emma was stuck in her corporate job, Sarah had followed her dreams. She became a successful entrepreneur, built her own business, and traveled the world. Sarah shared motivational posts, and her life seemed full of adventure and passion. That day, Sarah had posted a picture of herself standing proudly in front of a new office building, smiling broadly. The caption read, "Every great dream begins with a leap of faith. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the step, no matter how small." Emma stared at the picture and felt a deep sense of regret. Why didn't I take that leap? Why did I let fear hold me back? She thought. She admired Sarah's courage to follow her heart, to build a life around what she loved. Emma realized that she had been waiting for the right moment to follow her own dream of becoming a writer, but she now understood that the perfect moment might never come. If she wanted to make a change in her life, she would have to take the first step, no matter how small. For the next few days, Emma couldn't stop thinking about Sarah's words. She wanted that same courage, that same fire inside her. She wanted to take a leap of faith too, just like her friend. It was clear that waiting for the right moment was not the answer. If Emma wanted to be happy, she would have to create that moment herself. One evening, after a long day of work, Emma found herself sitting at her desk, looking at a blank notebook. It had been so many years since she had written anything for herself. She opened the notebook and wrote Chapter 1 on the first page. She froze. The words seemed heavy, and doubt filled her mind. What if my writing isn't good enough? What if no one wants to read my stories? But then Emma remembered Sarah's post. She remembered how her friend had taken that leap of faith and changed her life. Emma took a deep breath, picked up her pen, and began to write. The first few pages were difficult. The words didn't flow easily. Emma erased sentences, doubted herself, and often felt like giving up. But every night, even if it was only for a short time, she forced herself to write. Slowly, her story began to come to life again. Her characters grew stronger, and the world she had once imagined in her mind felt real once more. She could feel the excitement that had once filled her as a child returning. But self-doubt still whispered in her ear, "What am I doing? Who am I kidding? I'm too old to start writing now. I've wasted so much time." There were many times when Emma almost gave up. But then, she remembered something her grandmother had always told her. The only way to fail is to quit before you've given it your all. With new determination, Emma kept going. She ignored the fear and continued writing every night. Her story slowly took shape, and for the first time in a long while, Emma felt truly alive. She was creating something that mattered to her, and that felt wonderful. Finally, after months of hard work, Emma finished her first draft. It wasn't perfect, but it was done. She felt proud of herself for having completed it. But the fear of rejection still held her back. What if no one likes it? What if this is all a waste of time? The thought of sending her manuscript to publishers was terrifying. But then she remembered Sarah's words. Take the step, no matter how small. With shaking hands, Emma sent her manuscript to several publishers. She clicked send, closed her eyes, and hoped for the best. Weeks passed before the first rejection letter came. Then another. And another. Each rejection stung, but Emma didn't give up. She revised her manuscript, learned from the feedback, and sent it out again. Then, after months of waiting and working hard, Emma received an email from a small publishing house. They loved her story and wanted to offer her a contract. Emma couldn't believe it. She had done it. Her dream was finally coming true. The book was published, and although it didn't become an instant success, it slowly began to find an audience. Readers sent messages, telling Emma how her story had touched them. Some even said her book had inspired them to follow their own dreams. Emma felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. She had made it. Her perseverance had paid off. Over the years, Emma wrote more books, each one better than the last. She built a career as an author. But more importantly, she had learned a powerful lesson. Perseverance is the key to success. No matter how many setbacks she faced, no matter how many rejections or obstacles came her way, Emma kept going. Her story taught her that failure is not the end. It is just a part of the journey. Every rejection, every challenge brought her closer to her dream. And in the end, Emma realized that the most important thing was not the success or recognition. It was the willingness to keep going, to continue trying, and to never give up on your dream.